Shalom, brothers and sisters. So today I just want to touch on a few little points from Noah, because as we know, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end. The ark that was built had one door, only one door. Now, if you go to John 10 verse 9, it says, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture. Jesus Christ is that one door to escape all that lies ahead and is coming for this world. There is no other door. There is no fire escape. There is no secret entrance. There is only one, the way, the truth, and the life, Jesus Christ. He's the door to our ark of rescue. Then the name Noah means rest. Matthew 11 verse 28, Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Jesus will give us rest. We will rest when we have run this race and he collects us and we go to be with him. We will have everlasting rest, and I, for one, cannot wait for that rest. Then if you look at Genesis 7 verse 1, what set Noah apart from his generation? Then the Lord said to Noah, Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Righteousness is what set him apart. What is righteousness? What does it mean to be righteous? Basically, righteousness is the perfect holiness of Christ. It's an essential attribute to the character of God. Quite literally, the word means one who is right, the polar opposite of sin. We strive not to sin and to walk as he has taught us to walk. Pursuing God's righteousness means putting God at the center of all that we are, our lives, and all that we do. He is our focal point. He is all and in all. In him we have and move and have our being. We are nothing without him. He is everything. And that is his place, center stage. Now, the last important thing I want to point out to you here is, and this is just a little revelation that popped into my head. Noah was 600 years old when the end came, the flood waters. When the end of the world came, he was 600 years old. Take 100 years for each day of creation, 6 days, and then the end comes. And only after that we will have rest. Noah, Jesus. 600 years, and then the end came. We're at the end of 6,000 years. The end is about to come. It has come. It is here. It is beginning. And we will have our rest afterwards. And he will place us in the ark and take us away. The important thing to remember too, for those of you growing weary of watching and waiting and running this last little stretch, is this. Noah's boys were born to him when he was 500 years old. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the 3 boys were 100 years old when the flood came. Now why am I telling you this, and why is it important? It means they dedicated their lives to what they knew that their father knew was coming, that it was the end. And they were talking and mentioning and showing and living the fact that it is the end now. For 100 years, building the ark, warning people, showing the world that the end is coming, that they need to turn to God. For 100 years, they were watchmen on the wall, preparing for the end. And they knew it was the end. And they lived as if it was the end. And the end came 100 years later. Not 2 years later, not 2 months later, not 4 feasts later. We're at that point where if a feast goes by, we get very tired and very frustrated, and it's taking so long. These boys waited 100 years, and they see it as a drop in the ocean because they knew it was the end. Now, we don't have to wait 100 years. We're there. We're at the end. 6 days are over. We're heading into the end. So stand strong. Remember, as in the days of Noah. It's going to be the same. It is the same right now. Eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, buying, selling. None of those things can happen as developments get worse and worse and famine and everything that's happening in the world escalates into the next year. Then they're not going to be buying and selling because they won't be able to. They won't be eating and drinking because there won't be food. They won't be marrying and giving in marriage because there'll be chaos. So we're literally on the verge. Cities are falling apart in America, in Europe, and the rest of the world. Chaos and lawlessness is at absolute heights, as in the days of Noah and his boys for 100 years, right up until the end came. We are right at the end, brothers and sisters. Stand strong. We're almost home. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.